right.
All right, Around Town, episode 23. I don't know, I didn't think I was going to make it this long, honestly. 23 doesn't sound like a big number, but it is a lot of work, especially on Josh, the camera guy. But we're here, episode 23. We're in Circleville with Nicole Scott of Keith's Cause. Thanks for being with me, first off.
Yes, you're welcome.
Having a good day so far. Hopefully we don't run it here. What is Keith's Cause?
Keith's Cause started last year after my husband was diagnosed with kidney cancer on May 10th. The community here, they surrounded him. They supported him in so many ways, text messages, wristbands, everything that you can imagine, food, offering to mow our yard. Once we had the smoke clear from all of that, we discussed we wanted to give back to our community the way they gave back to us. Since that time, we have helped over 70 people since December. We started our campaign at the hospital. We dropped off blankets, flowers. We visited with each individual patient throughout all of the floors of the hospital that were admitted. Since that time, we have given a lot of gift cards out. We will look for needs of cancer patients in particular. That's our passion, but we don't ignore someone with any other types of medical issues going on. We also have a Facebook page, Keith's Cause, that we will talk about different needs within the hospital and struggles that patients have, such as gas money and transportation is a big issue. Food is an issue for family members of patients that's been admitted. And then we also highlight our story, things we've learned, and we put out awareness for kidney cancer as well. During March, we put out cards, pamphlets, about kidney cancer awareness and gave different facts all throughout the month, and we got over 200 of those out.
All right, I have a daughter with a lot of health problems. She's doing great, better than they ever thought she would, but I know it's really draining, not just on the person who has the health problems, but it's super draining on the family and the caregivers. And I know you guys are he's still on his battle. So I know, without even asking, I know that's been hard on you as well. Where do you come up with the energy just to not only take care of you and your family, but start giving back to 70 other families going through similar, that quick while you guys are still going on what you're doing?
The things that motivated me, one was my husband, my love for him. We're high school sweethearts. So I would literally do anything for him, including doing this interview. And then the other thing that motivates me is turning something really bad into something good. I can't control what bad happens to him, but what I can do is turn it into something good and take my bad experience and make it better.
Yeah, I mean, if everyone just did that a little bit more, the world would be a little bit better, huh?
Yes, and honestly, it's helped me to heal. His diagnosis was traumatic for me. Yeah. We expected what was wrong with him to be something extremely minor. We were talking, laughing, socializing before the doctor came in. So it was like a punch in the face. So it took me a little bit to get my bearings back. And if I could help anybody else in this world that has went through that or is going through it, that is a great passion of mine.
And what you said, it's helped you. And you know, when we're kids, everyone tells us like around Christmas time or whatever, it's better to give than receive. And I don't know, when you're a little kid, might not always feel like that. You want to get some presents or whatever. But everyone I talk to, and I talk to a lot of people who do different nonprofits or different organizations, similar, different causes, but are out there giving their time to help others. They all say that it does end up helping you at the same time.
It does, and it's helped my husband as well. One day he came home and he said, you know, I met this man in the parking lot. He himself had cancer. And he said after talking to him in his situation, he was visiting his own wife. He said, you know, I don't have it that bad. It could be a lot worse. So my husband takes great joy in going in patient rooms. And when he sees a wife there with her elderly husband, hey, I'm going to take care of your lunch today. He loves to do that. And I feel that's been a huge factor for him as well moving forward.
And he works at the hospital. right?
He does. He works at Ohio Health Burger. He's been there 11 years. He's well loved. I'm sure when most people see me, they will think of Keith if they know who we are. So he's been there. He's been featured in commercials. His picture hangs up if you walk through the hallway. Everybody loves him that meets him, and he does not meet a stranger. If he was walking through that hallway, he's saying hi to every single person that he sees when he walks by.
So you started Keith's Calls, and yeah, obviously we're in Circleville. It's a pretty small town. It started local, people you knew, probably your friends, your family, but it grew beyond that. Kind of explain what, I know you're doing this little interview with my little show, whatever we call this, around town.
Yes.
But my audience is pretty local. But you're about to have an interview or some speeches with a bigger audience. Talk about that a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. So when we initially asked for pamphlets from the National Kidney Cancer Awareness Association, they asked me why I needed so many. I told them about Keith's Calls and what we were doing. So they featured us in a blog. I wrote our story, and they had pictures. A couple of months ago, they reached out to me and they wanted to honor me as a caregiver and talk about how Keith's Calls came about. So I will be talking for one of their conference. It will be across this country as well into multiple other countries.
All right. And I think you said Kidney Cancer Awareness Month. That's already passed for this year.
Yes, that was in March, correct.
Okay.
Yes.
What kind of special things go on, if any, locally during March that people could get involved with?
So unfortunately, because kidney cancer is not widely talked about, it's extremely common. It's becoming much more common in 40 to 50-year-olds, especially men. If you know somebody that does have kidney disease, which is rampant, just from working in an office, I see it all day long. They are at a much higher risk for it. However, most people do not know that. It is a silent killer. Kidney cancer takes years and years to develop. Most people do not even have pain, and it's found incidentally on an x-ray because somebody has back pain or they were in a car wreck. So unfortunately, in our town, we don't have anything. So hopefully Keith and I can change that. We've worked with the hospital. They allowed us to put out the information pamphlets throughout the offices. It's gotten a lot of attention just because of who Keith is. But hopefully we can change that. But across the country, they do races, they do t-shirts, fundraisers, they do amazing things.
Yeah, I mean, let's try to put out info for people. I mean, but I was going to ask, what kind of symptoms should people look for if they think they have it? But it sounds like there may not be.
Yes. So Keith was, he had pain, which we were told was super rare, but it was low abdominal pain and not at all typical. We definitely feel like that was just the Lord getting him there. However, if someone has blood in their urine, back pain, of course, unusual weight loss, they should definitely get there. And also just looking out, if you are somebody that's had kidney disease for years and years, or you have that family history, you should definitely look into getting that checked out every so often.
Okay. And I remember when my daughter, she doesn't have cancer, she's got a genetic disorder, but when we got that news, I mean, it does feel like a punch in the face, or that's not even enough. It's something, that's what you said, but it's something worse than that. Just, you really can't even think of what it feels like. But that's not the end of, the story, you push through. But do you have any advice for people who may, it doesn't have to be kidney cancer, any kind of really bad news, whether it's about themselves or a family member, I guess speak on the behalf of the caregiver, what would you tell someone who just maybe got the news this morning?
There's always hope. I posted just a couple days ago on the website that when Keith was diagnosed with cancer initially, the words that translated in my mind is he's going to die. But what I found out since then is that's not true. It's not a death sentence. It doesn't have to be. And in fact, it's done the opposite for me. It has given us a whole new leash on life because the small things just don't matter. And so I'm embracing it. We're doing more than we've ever done before. I didn't know what the future was prior to that, but I thought I did. We all think that we know what's gonna happen tomorrow. So I say live your best life, love people deeply, and do good for others.
Okay, if there's something that people here locally in Circleville or Pickaway County could do to get involved or learn more, where should they go? I know you guys have a website.
Yes.
What's the URL for that?
Yes, so you will go to Keith's Calls. It's a private group, so you can ask for an invite, and then we will...
on Facebook?
Yes,
okay.
On Facebook, and you can get a hold of us like that. We each have our own pages as well. Sometimes I'm putting stuff on there, but for Keith's Calls, you can go on there, you can see our content. For donations, we've had a couple people that like to anonymously donate from time to time. We do that for them. What we do is we take pictures of the receipts, and then I give them their story. So I don't give any patient identifying information. I will also feature that on my page so that people can see what the needs are and they can be motivated to help somebody else, or they can continue to support Keith's Calls.
I'm glad you brought up the needs. So we haven't really talked about that. What exactly are you doing for some of these families, and what is kind of some of the most common things they need?
Okay, so one of the common things is transportation, which sounds shocking to most of us. That is a huge need. Some of the cancer patients are going to the hospital every single day for infusions. Not all of those things can be taken care of here locally, so they are driving to Columbus every day. A lot of the patients are working. Shockingly enough, out of 70 patients, only 2 of them have been in their 70s or 80s. Everyone else has been in their 40s or 50s, so they're missing work. Food is a huge issue. Not every hospital does give the patient's family member food. They're staying there all day, they're there all night. So that is another huge issue. We give gift cards, and also we'll just randomly stop in the cafeteria and pay for somebody's food here locally.
Okay.
So those are 2 huge issues, and also the emotional support side, as well as just feeling like they're not alone. That's huge. But what we do is we do the gift card drops. We had a lady who thought she had cancer. She was one of the oldest nurses in Pickaway County. They did a parade. We joined the parade. We got her a gift basket full of all of her favorite things. So sometimes it's just spoiling the person to let them know that we're thinking about you and you are important. I have numerous people I text on a regular basis that have stage 4 cancer, and they are missing work. They start to feel forgotten. They're our age. They want to be at work. They want to feel a part of something. And so I periodically check on them. I might send them flowers periodically, or do just different things like that for them as well, whatever the need is.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add about the calls or anything whatsoever before we wrap up?
No, other than certainly join our Facebook page. You can follow us, and as I've told my family for years, as long as you're alive, there's still hope.
I just want to thank you for sitting down with me.
Yes,
Good luck
absolutely.
with the national interview you're going to be doing.
Yes, thank you.
This is a warm-up. You did great here, so I think you're going to be awesome. And thanks for what you're doing. Turning what could be a negative into a positive, I think is
absolutely.
one of the best things we can do to keep pushing forward, and we'll be thinking of you.
All right, well, thank you.
We'll see you around town here.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Nicole. Smooth. You did good.
Okay.
Not too bad.
No, not bad. Not bad at all.